Want to learn how to make six figures in this upcoming tax season? In this video, we're going to break down how to make that happen. Let's get it. Okay, welcome guys. My name is Tatiani Favors, your tax business coach. And today, yes, we have a slide in the room. We have entered into teach mode today, okay? Because I definitely want to give you all a visual of how to break this on down. So you want to make six figures during the tax season, you and everyone else, which is quite all right. But let's define six figures, because six figures, people say, I want to make six figures. I want to make six figures. That number can be anywhere between $100,000 and $999,999. Okay. So we're going to go with $100,000 gross. And this example will be based on this number. So like I said, here is a visual. Here is a visual of how you break down how to make $100,000 in a tax season. Now, your math may be a little differently, but this is the calculation, the overall calculation that you will use, okay? So we have, it's a numbers game, guys. We have on the screen, you want to make $100,000 gross. Then you want to figure out, what do you typically charge for a tax return? Average price. Now we know that various tax circumstances can yield a different tax preparation amount, okay? But I'm choosing $250. Why? Because I think that is the minimum amount of money someone should be paying you for tax preparation services. Now, your minimum amount may be different or a little less, a little more, but I definitely do not recommend that your minimum amount is less. So let's talk about that for a second. I call it the base price. Every tax professional needs to identify the base price of a tax return that someone will pay them. Basically, the base price is the minimum amount someone will pay you. So if someone came to your tax office with one W-2, no dependents, what is the least amount of money, the minimum amount of money they'll be paying you? That is what will be referred to as your base price, okay? And so once you have that, once you have that base price, I will go ahead and put that amount into this calculation. So again, starting from the top, we want to create $100,000 in gross revenue at $250 per tax return, which is our base price. So if you do $100,000 divided by 250, that will give you 400. That 400 number represents the clients that you need at $250 a tax return in order to generate $100,000 in revenue. Okay, guys, that's simple. That's the calculation. Now, of course, when you have the client amount, you can do a few things with this information. This identifies other decisions that you must make. Number one, can you process 400 clients yourself? Okay, if you are a one-person show, would you be able to process 400 clients in 4.5 months yourself? If not, which you can't, I'm telling you, then that will persuade you or encourage you to make other decisions like, okay, I'm going to need some help. I probably need to partner or hire another tax preparer at minimum to help me with this clientele that I need, okay? Also, another question, a good question for you is, if you are to get 400 clients today with exactly how your tax business is now, how your tax business is structured now, would your tax business be able to even handle the influx of clients, of having 400 clients? Would your tax business be able to handle 400 clients as it is today, without customer service declining, without anyone falling through the cracks, without you being overwhelmed, all of those things, would your tax business be able to even handle that influx of clientele? And I want you to keep it 100% funky with yourself, okay? Because the first step is acknowledgement, guys. You know, they say that in AA, not that I've ever been to AA, but I've watched TV before, and that's what I've learned from TV, that the first step is acknowledgement. If you acknowledge that as your tax business is today, that you will not be able to handle the influx of clients, then now that encourages other questions that you will ask yourself. Okay, on an internal basis, I need to implement some systems, some SOPs, some things on the back end that will help me be able to handle and manage such an influx of clientele, because it's not just good enough to attract these clients. We want to keep these clients, all about client retention as well, because if we're constantly getting one-off clients every tax season, then we're not growing in our business. People aren't coming back. We want people to come back. We want to retain the clientele we have and also attract new clients. Retain the new clients and attract new clients. That's how over time you grow your clientele. But you have to make sure that externally your marketing is good enough in order to even attract 400 clients per the example, but also on an internal basis, if your business will be able to handle that, okay? So this is the math. Very simple. Also, another question that you can ask yourself is, okay, if my base price is too low and I don't want to have to go after 400 clients, maybe I can start offering business tax preparation and not Schedule C, because that's attached to the 1040, which is a personal tax return. But when I say business tax return, I'm referring to a 1065 partnership, an 1120 C Corp, 1120 S Corp. Okay, an actual business tax return that I say at very minimum should not go below $850. So if you divide $850 by $100,000, of course, that will lead to a lower clientele option that you would need. Hold on, let me do that math real quick now. $100,000 divided by $850. Now we're down to only 118 clients, okay? 118 clients at a higher rate versus 400 clients at a lower rate. So now as the CEO of your tax business, you have the opportunity to say, you know what, I want to start offering business tax prep services as well. And of course, create a marketing strategy around that so you can start to attract those type of clients. But do you see how many decisions can be made simply from identifying how much you want to make during the tax season? Maybe you don't want to make $100,000. Maybe you want to make $75,000. Maybe you want to make $150,000. It doesn't really matter what your numbers are, but here is the basic calculation, guys, okay? Now I want you to keep this in mind. Go ahead and replace with your financial goal and your average price per tax return so you can get an idea of what you're looking at, so you can pivot your marketing strategy, so you can make some decisions as the CEO of your tax business. And if you are ready to start, build, and or scale a profitable and sustainable tax business, go ahead and click the link in the description box. I want you to go ahead and schedule a discovery call with me so we can see exactly where you are now and what your next best steps are, okay? Let's go ahead and take action. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video.